What Happened This Week podcast. Just two best friends chatting in the trailer about all the things you are thinking about. Because you never know with Kim and Tricia.
Straight out of the trailer.
Hey, hey.
Hey, what's going on this week?
Oh, just trying to survive the coronavirus.
Seriously, I have a head cold, and I woke up yesterday with it, and I thought, oh my gosh, do I have coronavirus? So I started looking at the symptoms, and I don't think so, but I do know that the temperature of 104 is kind of like the staple of it.
I guess so. 104. I think you should go to the hospital. But
I know. So I was in bed all day yesterday, so I'm feeling better today. I actually so I have to give an update to a couple things.
Your plant-based diet?
So this was the worst week ever to go plant-based. Because one, there's no toilet paper. And switching to plant-based has really interrupted my GI system. I'm pooping more than normal. It's when you're not eating a lot of green stuff, and it's funny because I think that legumes, which I don't know why they say legumes, but it's another word for beans, but it's
no, they're not legumes.
Legumes.
There's no G in that.
Yeah, there is in legumes. There is, and that's in
but
the
I don't
beans.
think you pronounce it that way.
Well, it sounds like a beach or somewhere you should be, right? Like, I'm going to eat legumes on legumes. They have skin on the beans.
Right.
And the skin supposedly clogs up your small intestines, as well as the skin on apples. And this is what I've come to know because I've struggled for the past week eating legumes and all of this plant-based stuff. Is it got a G in it?
It does have a G in it, but it's not like lagoons.
Well, that's how
I didn't pronounce
legumes. That's how somebody else pronounced it to me.
Oh, really?
I'm in this whole plant-based beginner eating.
Well, then I'm wrong, I'm
challenge.
sure.
Now, I have to tell you something. I posted the video of my food haul in our day drinking moms group. And I have to say that I posted it in another plant-based eating group. Girl, I have over 400 likes and over 600 views.
You're just speaking to your people. No, because when you speak about alcohol, then you get a lot more likes on that.
Everybody's like, you got this. You can do this. They're giving me recipes. The country crock. Instead of saying crock, I said the other word in my first video.
Oh, boy. You're right there. It's legumes. Like a Z.
Legumes.
Yeah.
Legumes.
Yeah.
So anyways, it sounds like it's like an expensive vacation somewhere.
It does.
So I've really been struggling with the plant-based, so I'm thinking that I need to introduce some meat into my system, and here's why.
Okay.
When I have eaten clean before, I'm normally regulated. So this has been a real struggle with my body system because I'm gassy and I'm like a 90-year-old woman walking down the road with farts.
Are you like, you can't control it? They're just like sneaking
And
out?
I'm so
yeah. Are you 6 months pregnant too?
No, I don't think so. So, it's funny because going into this plant-based, like I went all in, right?
Oh.
And I'm still plant-based, but I really feel like I need to like slowly make my way into the plant-based thing because one with the shortage of toilet paper.
Right.
Except, one of the things is that we were talking about this earlier, you could just use a water hose. Like, I don't understand.
Or, like, you could use an actual washcloth, but you still have a washer and a dryer and power.
All day long. I feel like we should board up the house.
That's what, I think Steven Naranda said that. Someone said, like, I feel like I should put my shutters up.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's just like we're in hurricane mode or something right now. I don't understand. It's like a scariness. But, yeah, you've got the water hose. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I don't understand. I did find some toilet paper in Vero, which is about an hour north of us. Not that I drove an hour north to find toilet paper, but I was traveling. I found some. I did go to our local Walmart. No toilet paper. Or Publix, no toilet paper. Lysol, $8 a can.
Where was that at?
Publix, and they only limited 2.
Yeah.
$7.99. And I don't remember it being that expensive.
I don't ever buy it. Maybe it is. I
rarely
don't know.
buy it, but I'm like, dang, $7 or $9 for a big old, And then they say you're not supposed to spray it around your dogs. Does it kill your dogs? I don't know. It's just like all this.
Were you chasing your dogs around trying to spray them down?
All day long. I'm like, come here, Bella, sit down. Let me get you real quick so you don't cry at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, James like, you gotta be careful with the Lysol around the dogs. But yeah, so it's just been a crazy week. I work in healthcare, so it's been really crazy with every day we're getting new updates. And it just seems like, I was talking to one of my doctors and I said, it's it's real if Disney World shuts down. And it did that night.
I know.
I'm like, what in the heyday is going on? Disney never shuts down. I mean, they usually welcome people to come there during the hurricane.
Yeah, well, I remember when Reagan was born and we had left right before I was pregnant still, and we left town because Hurricane Irma was coming through. And we drove all the way to Tallahassee because Irma was supposed to hit here. And I even like checked at the regular at the hospital up there and like put on my paperwork in case she came. Well, then the storm shifted and we drove home. And we were trying to figure out at this point, is it safe to drive home? And Jason says, well, Disney World's still open. I think we'll be okay. Because we had to get from Tallahassee all the way to South Florida, pass by Orlando.
Right.
And we did. We made it home fine, obviously. But, yeah, so that was our cursor. Like, is Disney open still?
Seriously, I mean,
Disney closed.
Disney closed. Publix is closing early
At
every
8,
night.
yeah.
Walmart's not 24 hours anymore. It's 7 or 11. No, it's 8 to 8, I think.
Oh,
Walmart
really?
changed their hours. I was watching the huge Donald Trump when he came on the news. What was it, yesterday? Talk about, he had Walmart, the CEO from Walmart. He had CVS. He had Becton Dickinson. He had Roche. He had all of these major CEOs up there. They kind of banded together to help. They've actually been able to, for the testing kits, because there's such a shortage of testing kits, that the FDA usually takes about 2 years to approve anything that hits the market.
Right.
They fast-tracked this testing kit made by Roche within 2 days. I mean, obviously they can do things in a fast manner. So I will say, from watching all of that happen, it's been kind of a cool experience, as weird as that sounds.
Impressive.
Because, we can, get everybody on the same bandwagon and, protect America, which is important. I mean, they're going to open up Walmarts to have drive-throughs, testing centers, which I know our Cleveland Clinic already did, but Walmart announced that they would open up there because they have huge parking lots that they'll do that. So,
do you know if it's like if the test is free or does your insurance cover it? Like I didn't know. Someone asked me that. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, it seemed the way that it sounds. I think
like
that
if you're a risk, like you just come in and we're gonna swab you.
Right.
I mean, it's for the betterment of the society.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. Yeah, I think that's. I don't think it's necessarily covered by insurance. I think it's just a more of a public.
It's just paid for by the health department.
Yeah. Right. And I think they had like over 1,000 testing kits in Florida as of yesterday. So it's just been crazy. It's like, you want to get away from the news because I think it's so
overwhelming and it's so like doomsday. Like and this is why it probably reminds you of a hurricane, because when a hurricane is coming and you turn on the news and it's just like, oh my God, there's got to be something else going on, right? And I'm like, what's a better news story than this? Like, we need something to take this away. Like, I don't know what it could possibly be because this is worldwide, but they just attach, and I think people need to be informed. I don't think mass hysteria is the way to go with this. I mean, by no means are we coronavirus specialists, experts. It's just our experience with it. Like, fortunately, the company I work for has stopped walk-in traffic as of Monday, which I think is smart. I mean, we need to conduct business. We need to serve our customers, and we are able to work through, like, our mail slot so we can control what is coming in as far as if someone walks in the door and they cough and I don't know where their germs went in my office or where I'll pick it up at. But if they're handing me something through a slot in the door, I can control that more. And being pregnant or, and living with Jason's parents who are older, because it would affect them more than it's going to affect anybody else in our house. Yeah. Like, I don't want to bring that home. No. This week we got some nasty stomach virus, and it was still crazy to me because we have been so vigilant on cleaning and washing our hands and all of this stuff, and it took us all out like that fast. Like, it was Jason's birthday on Tuesday. At first I thought it was my prenatal. Remember we talked, I got my new prenatal vitamins because I couldn't get mine. So I went to the health food store and I bought the vitamins. It's not the health food store's problem. I'm really sensitive to vitamins, and that's why my other ones were so good, because there were 2 tablets and I would split them up. So I wasn't like overdosing on all this stuff. Well, the other ones was just one, and it gave me like to pass out almost, like the feeling that they gave me. So I thought that's what it was, and then that night, like, no. I spent the night of Jason's birthday in the bathroom. Such a nice guy, holding my hair, like flushing as I purge. Like, that's love. Yeah, and it's amazing. I'm just like, you're not sitting there in the toilet looking at what just happened to you. Someone just flushed the evidence out of your face. That's amazing. And have you ever been around somebody else that's throwing up, like the gag reflex that you get? Like, yes, I don't know how he made it through. I really don't know how he did it, but thank God he put washcloth on my neck, And I was like, well, maybe it's food poisoning. And about 5 o'clock the next morning, Jason was sick, so we knew it wasn't that. No, that's when we thought maybe it was food poisoning, because now we both have it. Right. And sort of tracking back dinner the night before, like, okay, well, what would you eat that nobody else ate? Because we had gone to dinner. And we had gotten these cupcakes, and Reagan just licked the frosting off the top, and then I ate her cupcake, and Jason ate one, and his dad ate one, and no one else at the table ate a cupcake. And his dad said his stomach was a little funny, so maybe it's food poisoning. But then, like, his mom got it. and then his dad really got it.
Oh,
And
geez.
so, but it was a really scary thought to think that here we are being so vigilant, like washing our hands and wiping everything down and not touching everything for this coronavirus, and this nasty little stomach virus comes in and
knocks the whole house out.
yeah, like it's that, it could happen that easily is what I mean.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, it's kind of crazy the timing of it all, right? You get the stomach virus.
Oh my god, I looked at, they were like, "Are you okay? Why aren't you at work?" Like, what do you have? And I'm like, it's quite embarrassing, but okay, this is what I've got. Not to worry, it's all gastro. It's not in my lungs at all.
Well, I actually was supposed to go to a baby shower yesterday, and I told James, I'm like, I have this head cold. I'm like, but I was so nervous of not going because I didn't want people to think that I had corona. Like, I was like, let me give you a script to say. Kim does not have corona. She has it in her head. It's her head cold. And I felt bad because the baby shower. I didn't want to get the mother to be pregnant.
Yeah.
And, and they
not pregnant, sick.
No, sick. Not pregnant.
She's already pregnant.
She's already pregnant. See, it's my head cold. It's got me tripping here. So James went there, and I got a text from the girls at Hair Hookup saying that they had missed me. And they wanted to say hi because they weren't there.
Oh, did they like their episode?
They did like their episode, and they said that we made them sound great, so they were super excited. So I was going to be able to catch up with them, but I wasn't able to. But good. I will say that I got to watch a little bit of Netflix yesterday. Love is Blind.
I've heard about it. Shannon told me about it.
Okay, so it's like the number one in the Netflix, which we're going to have an episode coming up soon.
Out. There's some stuff. I watched,
stuff. Yes, we got to do some Netflix.
I watched your plant-based one last night, part of it anyway.
Yeah?
Jason's like, great, we're going plant-based after you watch this.
See?
And because he fell asleep. But anyway, we did watch it, and I haven't watched the whole thing because I did fall asleep, but I will say that it is very eye-opening.
Told you.
But I will say I watched Goop Lab. It's on Netflix. It's Gwyneth Paltrow. She owns Goop, like the company Goop.
Okay.
And it's like lifestyle stuff. So they do these different lifestyle things. One episode, like they did, like if you take like mushrooms and how it helps with anxiety and different things like that. One of them was like,
I shake a whole handful of those. Then.
I know, right? One of them was, I think, like the cold water and how it affects like different things. And like I really do try to take a cold shower, but I can't. Anyway, they had like diets on there. So for 30 days, one lady did plant-based.
Okay.
One lady did plant-based Mediterranean, so it did include like some fish.
Okay.
And like more things, like maybe like pastas that you couldn't have plant-based that you could with this. And then Gwyneth did a 5-day fast, but it came in a box. Like, so each day it's a 5-day fasted with adequate nutrition.
Okay.
So that you're not shutting your system down, right?
Like smoothies or whatever.
Yeah. So before they started, they drew their blood to find out their genetic age.
Right.
And each of them was younger than their real age genetically. But after each one of them completed their diet or whatever, they took their genetic age again, and Gwyneth lost the most on her fast, and the plant-based lost the least. And so, and the Mediterranean was right in the middle. Mm-hmm. So what we took from this was maybe a little Mediterranean diet that's still plant-based.
Right.
With, and I know on the documentary it says that any meat, even if it's, not red meat, messes with it. And then like twice a year do a fast.
Well, here's the thing. So, and I was talking to one of my physicians who does plant-based, and he actually did gain weight in the beginning because you're actually increasing your starches.
Right.
Like your rice, right? So your potatoes.
And your body doesn't know what to do.
Correct.
Right.
And so, I mean, you're like, ooh, potatoes, I gotta have as many of those. Or tortillas like shells. So there is some truth to that.
Right.
As far as you will actually, and also because your insides are inflamed like mine, having to fart all the time. So there is some truth to that. James, on the other side, is doing fasting.
Right, he does the intermittent fasting.
And he's down by 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So, but men lose weight faster.
Right.
So, it's definitely, to the intermittent fasting, I definitely believe that there's a lot of truth to that. And also the plant-based. It was just, to me, it was just like, maybe health-wise. And I haven't even established myself with a physician. So I probably should to kind of see where I was and then to see where I'm going to be.
Yeah, and see what it's doing to you internally.
Right. I feel like I'm off. Like, I feel like my, I don't know, like, maybe this head cold has something to do with, like, I don't feel, like, I feel lightheaded sometimes. because I wasn't a big like steak eater,
right?
But I'd eat chicken,
right?
So maybe not having that meat is actually doing more harm than good. Or
well, it's a shock to your system. I'm sure your body's like, what
is going on?
Girl?
And I'm not even, and I'm like kind of fasting a little bit too because I'm actually don't want to eat that shit. Like, I make the sausage. I'm like, there does nothing good to eat this, and I'm like sitting there like a kid holding my nose, like eating broccoli.
Right.
So yeah, I'm kind of like I'm still trying to. What the one thing it did is it made me think more about before I ate.
Yeah.
So like for lunch times, like or when I pack my lunch, like I pack vegetables or I pack fruits, and so I am trying to be more
conscious about it.
Like I went to Patrol Capital with Taylor, and she got like some bowl. They have a veggie bowl, and or a vegan bowl, and the vegan bowl was actually really, it was a meatless meat, Beyond Meat. It was actually dynamite. I mean, it was really, really good.
Right.
So, like, I'm trying to just make choices like that. If I stop and think about making healthy choices, then I might eat healthier. But I don't know if this whole plant-based thing is working out. So,
or even find recipes that aren't so much about finding meat substitutes and just trying to find more plants in general, like on things, because when you're trying to substitute, like,
I know,
sausage, it's not sausage, so it's never going to be what you're thinking it's going to be. So I'm trying to not doing a substitute thing, instead being like, cool, like, this is eggplant parmesan. I guess you could do
I could do eggplant.
Yeah, and you could do the parmesan like with the bread. Well, no, you can't do breadcrumbs, can you?
Yeah,
you could do like one like a plant-based.
Yeah,
like,
you can do a plant-based.
Okay,
yeah.
You just obviously I've never been a dipper like in eggs when I do coatings. I just do it with like water and then coatings. But I mean, like, instead of trying to find meat substitutes, find foods that just fit within that category.
Yeah. That
might be better, because then it's like, this was disappointing.
It's a lot of work. It's really hard. So I kind of like, I'm still working on it. I'm not, I'm just, it's just a struggle, So with this Corona thing, it's kind of, I don't have to really worry because there's no meats at the fridge.
No, I saw your video. I was like, girl, good thing you weren't getting a steak.
I know. Somebody's like, nobody wanted the ham. I'm like, yeah, because I said, because locally we had our fair, but it got their hams from their pigs that they bought. But that was like, it was pretty crazy. I was like, there's no meat. Like, now I definitely have to be plant-based.
Exactly. Let's go to my house. We got a lot of meat.
Yeah, that's right. You got a lot of pork if I need to.
And we got venison out there. We got fish. We got more meat than anything.
Yeah.
I can't go plant-based till we eat it all. So.
That's right. Well, that's what I had said initially. I was like, before I go plant-based, maybe we should eat all the meat in the house first. But so we're not too bad. My sister came over and I made spaghetti with meatless, and it wasn't too bad. Taylor said if I had not told her it was meatless, she would have eaten it.
Like, okay.
Yeah, so it was actually, so it's just playing one around with it, and stuff. But again, I think my GI system's all out of whack, so I need to get that back. And I'm not flying to Tampa today.
Right.
Because, the weight thing was still an issue. And I'm glad I didn't, because
you would have been on the airplane. And a small plane.
And they just...
You probably would have been the only person. The weight wouldn't have mattered.
I probably would have got up there and sat with the pilot.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, hey.
Can I get some wings? Get my little wings and my little pen.
Would have been just you. They may have canceled that flight.
They could have canceled the flight. So I'm driving to Tampa.
Okay.
So I have my Jeep's in the shop once again. So I have a rental car. And it's so low to the ground. But I have to tell you something funny. I was on my way here. It's a 2020. It's a brand new Hyundai Sonata.
I think that's what my mom has.
And he's like, we're to give you a brand new car. I'm like, great, because I just
right.
Need brand new car. Do you know what it did when it got close to? Because the way I drove to your house, I got near McDonald's. The dashboard said it's time for a break and had a coffee cup.
Really?
Is that like some...
Did it tell you, let's get some burger and fries?
Does it know that I'm near a McDonald's? I know it's a brand new car, but this is going to be fun driving to Tampa, because I wonder if it like has a sensor and it has some type of mapping inside that knows I'm going to be near a fast food restaurant. That is sad.
You know what's crazy? So on Wednesday, Reagan has swim lessons. And so Jason always picks her up from her babysitter. And then they go to like Chick-fil-A and have something. And then they go to swim, because by the time we get done, because she's advanced class now. So by the time we get done, it's almost a little after 7 we get home. So she has to eat before. And his phone will tell him when he leaves the babysitter's house, how long it will take him to get to Chick-fil-A.
Really? Because it
got his schedule down.
That's
the AI intelligence that it's and then at Chick-fil-A, his phone goes off to tell him how long it'll take him to get to the Fishtails, the swim school from there.
That's so funny. Doesn't your phone do that when you go to work?
Like, no, like, it doesn't tell me it's time to go to work. Don't it tell me? Like,
does.
It tells me things like, so if we put something in the schedule,
yeah,
like in the calendar, like And it's really weird. On some of it does. On Tuesdays, it always tells me it's time to leave now.
Yeah.
To go to softball. It'll take you this long. And I'm like, I don't play softball, okay? But it tells me, and I just thought it was in the calendar, but it doesn't tell us any other time. Sometimes it will, like the doctor, like, you need to leave now. Traffic is light. It'll take you 12 minutes to get to
Yeah,
the
that
doctor's
is random.
office.
I'll have that, but I'll, like, whenever I get in the car, like, at such, like, in the morning, it'll tell me, because I usually go to my first clinic in Stewart, is where my starting point is, it'll tell me how long it's going to take me to get there. Like, not even knowing that's where I'm going to go. It's between, it must be a time thing.
Mine never does, and I go to the same place every day.
Maybe there's something in your settings you have to
Or maybe
do.
my phone is like, you're in a different car, because I don't have a car, so it doesn't know what's going
I
on.
can't register
Do you have the day off again?
I don't know, but isn't that crazy about that car? So
Yeah.
I just thought that was the randomest thing ever. It's time to take a break with a coffee cup, with it, like, doing the coffee, like, movements.
When I drive Gavin's car to work, like, and I go into the office, my phone will go off and say, tell me where I park my car.
Really?
But it never did that when I drove my car or when I drive Jason's truck. Only Gavin's car. It tells me this is where I park my car. I'm like, yeah, I can see it out the window.
Isn't that weird? That's
like,
so
that would be
weird.
awesome if I was at the airport.
I know.
Or Walmart.
Oh, I've gotten lost. I've gotten lost. Me and Taylor got lost.
At the mall.
We got lost. We went to the Beyonce concert, and
you came on the wrong side.
No, it was just I was just not familiar with.
Gotcha.
Familiar with it, and we lost the car, and I was freaking out. Like I kept pushing the button. So now I take a picture.
Oh, I always take a picture of where I'm at.
But when I went to, it was like last year. I went to. St. Louis, when I was in St. Louis for like 10 days, and I went and seen the big arch by myself because I was there during the weekend. I parked, and it was in downtown St. Louis, and I parked in a garage, and I'm not familiar with this car, and all the parking lots look the same. Girl, I lost my car. I had a full-on panic attack, and I am in St. Louis, and I knew I shouldn't have gone out by myself, but I like to venture. I went to like museums. I had a day by myself. I full-on sat down and had a panic attack, and I'm like, I don't even know, because my car isn't synced to it. Like, I don't even know how to find it. I'm like, I don't even know what color. I remember what color it was, because it's a rental car. And I actually went up to the little booth, because they had like a man in the booth, and I was full-on sobbing. I had called James. I was like, I'm not gonna find. It was starting to get dark, and I was like, I need to get home. And I was like 30 minutes away. I was staying in another city. Yeah, I was freaking out. So they actually they got me on the golf cart, and we went level by level,
hitting the button,
and I finally found it. It was actually I was in the wrong garage altogether.
Oh God!
It was the other one down the block.
Oh my God!
So we had to go like up Downton. It was funny.
Ma'am, you're not in this garage.
I know. And I never really said that story because I was so embarrassed. But I was like, just full on panic attack. So yeah. So I wish I would have had that feature then. But yes, I'm driving over to Tampa tonight, so I'm kind of like, I was debating on whether or not doing it, because I know they've had some cases of corona over there. We haven't had any in Martin County, which is good.
That you know of.
That we know of. So I'm just going to bring my Lysol with me, bring down my hotel room, and then they did relocate our meeting from it normally would have been at the Tampa Bay Bucks, at their arena.
Oh, okay.
But we are going to relocate that to the corporate office, because I think they've shut that down.
Probably.
So. But yeah, so that's kind of my week. So it'll be interesting, as I'm driving through, and it'll be like the zombie apocalypse. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm curious with work, like how, we get quite a bit of walk-in traffic, and over the years, obviously, it's dwindled and dwindled and dwindled as more and more people turn to online and, automatic payments and things. But it'll definitely be an interesting, different vibe for sure, not to have that.
Yeah, I think so.
It'll
be different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this week we do have the gals from a plastic surgeon, a very prominent plastic surgeon in the area, and so we're excited.
Yes.
When we went on the road with them, the audio is really different.
Yes.
Because we had 4 of us.
Equi, and Lauren is a soft speaker.
Yes.
She probably has to be, so she can, because we talk and we're so loud, so she's probably like, oh, I'll just not be so loud. But, yeah.
Yeah, so she definitely is low, and you might hear a microwave in the background. Her husband, we were actually getting ready for a Christmas party, I think, prior to us doing this, but we did have Lauren and Kelsey who joined us. And so very interesting. Lauren is involved with the pre and the post-op.
Yeah, patient coordination
as a nurse. So she actually is dealing with the patients that are going in for surgery and before and afters. And then Kelsey is in she's a surgery tech. So
she's a scrub tech. So she's in the OR.
So she's in the OR, and she's actually the one who's in the room. She's actually facilitating and seeing the surgery go down. So that's quite interesting. And you'll learn more about Tricia and I. We both had some plastic surgery, and eventually we're probably going to go in and have some more.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're not all plastics, but we'd like to be.
I would love to be. I don't want my face to be plasticky.
Right.
I want to be able to people to know that I'm smiling when I'm
I
really
want
smiling.
a full body lift. Like I want the one time in my life where I can wear a bikini and be like, I don't worry about that dimple on my butt.
Oh gosh, I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't even imagine. I'd be under for like 2 days.
Bro, I wore my bathing suit yesterday.
You wore your bathing suit yesterday?
Yeah, we went over to Mike and Shannon's to go swimming.
Oh yeah.
And there is something glorious about being pregnant.
Not caring.
Yeah, because I mean, I hope no one judges in general when I'm in my bathing suit, but you know, some people might. Not them by any means. They're sweet, but I mean. And it's always a safe zone at their house, so that's why it's easy. Maybe that's why it was easy yesterday, too. But, I'm pregnant, right? I could be like...
You can let your belly hang out.
You know what? They could say, like, oh, she put on a little more weight this pregnancy than last, maybe. But so what?
That's right.
I haven't had the baby, and so you can't judge me about not losing it yet.
Not yet. That's right. Oh, that's funny.
But I did, because fat looks better tan.
That's right.
And with my shower coming up as a barbecue shower, and if I might have to put my bathing suit on there, I better be tan.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today, and look forward to listening to this episode with the gals with plastic surgery.
Yeah, don't forget, if you have any questions, reach out to us. We can always reach out to them. I think that there might be some serious questions on this one. And don't forget, Day Drinking Moms.
Yep, hit up our group. We're growing. I think we're up to 200 members and plus.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's a great time. So come and join the group. We're always having a good time and drinking and doing our day drinking thing.
Yeah, well, you are.
I am.
All right,
yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, Kim, so everything we looked at so far this last month has looked at really how to improve yourself, improve your body, your hair, your face, and, it doesn't matter how much working out you do. There's some things that you just cannot change yourself that you have to have surgery for.
You do have to have surgery. You just have to cut it off. Like, you can't,
cut it off? What do you have, something extra?
I had a tummy tuck. I had 5 pounds of fat taken out of my body. I woke up, I was supposed to have 1 tube, and I woke up with 2 tubes on each side.
Did you get a new belly button?
I did get a new belly button.
Does it look normal?
I can't feel it. Like, even it was 10 years ago.
I don't care if you can feel it. Does it look okay?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, I play with it just to make sure. It doesn't feel the way that my other belly button felt.
Did you play with that one too?
Yeah, I did. You gonna clean it, right?
I guess so. Well, you can't grow boobs.
Right.
So, obviously, at 19, I had mine done.
You had your boobs done at 19?
I did. I was so young. I've actually had these boobs longer than I didn't have these boobs.
Wow.
So they're mine.
But you might
if somebody said these boobs are fake and they're not yours, like, oh hell no, these are my boobs.
I
own them. They have been in this body a long time.
They went through 2 babies and now a 3rd one.
Yeah, and
so they're dropping.
They look, well, they probably need a little bit of help, but I think they look good. I've talked to them about it before, and they say if it's not broken, then why fix it? So, but I think they're getting a little pancakey now, and this other baby might have a problem. I'm going to go in and get me a mommy makeover.
I think they say you have to go like every 10 years to get it redone,
and it's not broken,
right?
then you don't need to fix it. That's what the experts told me.
Yeah, well, it's funny because when I went in there to do my mommy makeover, or, at the time I was like, draw me up, like literally with a pencil. I was like, just tell me what you can do. I remember standing there like in a jumping jack position. And they drew me up. I would have walked out there $70,000
I was going to say, what would that cost you?
I was like, let me start with the tummy tuck and give me some lipo in the thighs. And then I was like, we'll put everything else on the back burner.
You should have just financed it.
I should have financed it.
You should have put the pool in. You should have financed it.
Well, I'm 40 and I'm probably due to go back to the plastic surgery.
That's good. So speaking of experts, we have a couple of them with us today. We have Kelsey and Lauren. So Kelsey, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Kelsey. I'm a surgical tech. I assist in plastic surgery.
So you see a lot of stuff.
I do. So I am going to correct you on one thing.
Okay, please do.
So when you get a tummy tuck, you do not get a new belly button. You keep your same belly button. There's an incision that is cut around your original belly button, and then a hole that is made after all the skin is stretched.
So it's just really stretched, so it looks a little different.
It is your same belly button.
It is my
same belly button. It is
really
a very common
misconception.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. And correct on the don't fix it implants if it's not broken.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
So you're in the room while the person's under having the surgery.
Yes.
Wow. Very cool.
I see it all.
Wow.
And then we also have Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I'm the front nurse at my office. Been there 18 years.
Wow.
In March. So I've seen it all, but we both have completely different perspectives.
You see them like when they come in, like before, and you're like, oh
before,
yes.
I take care of them after. Kelsey kind of only just gets to see
in the middle.
Yeah, that part of it. She rarely gets to see their post.
I see their. I never get to see their post.
Gotcha.
And their before pictures standing up is just pictures on the wall.
Right. Okay.
Otherwise, I see them laying down.
Oh wow.
So a lot of different perspective looking at someone naked laying down compared to standing up.
Right.
Yes, and then Lauren, you could probably get a lot more like the emotional side. I mean, that part of it. I mean, the beginning part.
And the hand holder from beginning to end.
Yes.
Aww.
Very cool.
They definitely need that.
Yeah. So you were probably you were probably the nurse that whenever I had my gauze removed when I had to go like after 3 days after the tummy tuck, and I was like, oh my god, I can see my hoo-ha.
We get that a lot. Or it's purple. Is that ever going to go down? It's so common.
Right. It's kind of like you get to be part of that reveal.
Yes.
Wow, very cool. We're going to have some questions for you guys that we have decided to just kind of talk with you about. And, you guys do come from two different backgrounds in the sense of what you're dealing with. So, feel free to answer them. We're just going to kind of go through them. I know you guys have had a chance to take a look at the questions. So we're just going to get started.
Okay.
All right, so first one, do you get a lot of botched up patients that you have to correct their surgeries?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of revision surgeries, but it's not like botched.
It's not the
you
show.
see on botched.
Okay.
I mean, those are going to be the extreme.
Right.
Sometimes we do get some really bad ones, but it's very rare. So usually it's just like scar revisions or positions of implants, maybe lumpy liposuction, things like that.
I will add to that it is much harder to do a revision from another surgeon.
That makes sense.
Than to do an original breast dog mastopexy. Because they have
different
techniques where a patient comes in and they need to be fixed by a different surgeon. It's tough.
It's like remodeling your house. Like it's cheaper to build ground up construction than to do a remodel.
You never know what you're gonna find when you open those walls.
Exactly.
Right.
That's crazy. Do they usually then like when they're looking at a fix, do they just try to take it all the most like down to like in construction like to bare walls to redo it again, or they just work with what they have?
They work with what they have.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually in consultation they'll give kind of scenarios. If it was done this way, then you can expect something like this as your post-op. And if it was done this way, then expectations are different.
Right.
So
I know the doctor I work for will push a lot of times for that patient. Like he'll ask, did you go back to them first?
Right.
Say you were not happy.
That makes sense.
It's really important because he doesn't want his patients, if they were unhappy, to go elsewhere. Like you want to keep your patients in that office.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of it is scarring. And
I was gonna say it's not the doctor's
fault.
fault.
99% what your body does. So I definitely agree with you.
And you have to be careful. It's kind of one of those things where it's a tag you're it. So you're trying to fix someone else's work. And not necessarily it's going to look perfect.
Right. And now it's
your
on
name's
you.
going to be on
the
it.
last one. You're the last one to touch
it.
them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes
It's a big
sense.
deal.
Yeah. And I could see that too because I know of some patients who have maybe had some breast work done and didn't necessarily do the things the doctor told her to do when she left, and then was really upset because one of them was dropping differently than the other. And I was like, why do you have a regular bra on? You're not supposed to have this regular bra on. Well, that one that wanted me to wear wasn't comfortable. I was like, well, you can't be mad at them.
Well, your body also doesn't do exactly what it's supposed to do
all the time.
So you can have capsular contractures with breast augmentation, and it can be one side and not the other. You can have a weakening of the capsule where one starts to bottom out. That takes a little surgery. So those are things that it's your body that's doing, not necessarily the work of the physician.
And making sure that you have a physician that explains that to you, that everyone is different, and that has the experience to know that if this does happen, this is normal, this can be fixed, things like that. Okay.
And I think seeing like the worst case scenario pictures where it went wrong because you didn't follow the post-op procedures was like the scary part for me.
Absolutely.
Made me I wanted to be compliant as a patient because I just spent all this money. I didn't want it to be bad.
Yeah, YouTube's real interesting for me on my side of the job.
Oh, I bet.
Because I get all of the questions. I saw that this one doctor says you should be doing this after surgery, and
You're
not telling me to do that, and so I get a lot of those questions.
Like, get off WebMD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop self-diagnosing
Please do
yourself.
Call me instead.
I do that myself.
I would say, so I'm going to go to this next question here, obviously, being pregnant. What is usually done during a mommy makeover?
So the most common mommy makeover I see is a breast aug mastopexy, which is implants with a breast lift, with a full tummy tuck, with
Muscle
lipo,
work,
muscle work with lipo, the hip rolls, which is your love handles.
Okay.
But it also can be a breast lift with a tummy tuck.
It all really just depends.
That makes
It's
sense.
breast and
obviously.
tummy work. Breast and tummy work combined.
Man, do y'all do
However
like
you wanna do
a rejuvenation on the bits?
You know, we used to have a doctor that that did. She's
Oh,
opened
the
her
bits.
own-
Girl, you know what I'm talking about. You can tell me.
She's
You
open-
know,
She's got her own office. Actually, really thinking about doing it myself. So.
I mean, after 3 kids,
So
I
you
mean,
cough
Oh.
your pee.
yeah, exactly. I can't go to the trampoline park.
Yeah,
Oh, vagina rejuvenation.
So the bits, the lady bits.
The
So
lady
I have bladder issues and I don't have kids.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna be.
Yeah, that would be, that's pretty fantastic. But y'all don't offer that, so you have to give me a
We
referral.
do some labioplasties.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Not super popular because I feel like there was maybe female plastic surgeons that do more. than
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just a little more like females feel more comfortable.
Or is that someone working downtown?
So
Yeah.
do they go in there and like tape it up?
They cut and sew.
Oh wow.
Cut and sew.
I don't know.
Your labia. Cut and sew.
It's cutting the
Cut and
extra
sew.
skin, sewing it back together.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
really simple. Cut and sew.
Yeah.
And don't
That's
cut
okay.
anything important that has good
And
sensation.
follow your doctor's instructions post-op, please.
I would
Yeah.
imagine so.
It's not pretty.
Yeah.
No.
Holy moly.
Does it come with a doctor's note? Like you can't procreate for how long?
Well, we're
gonna get that to your
given,
husband?
they're given instructions. Well, that has nothing to do with that. These are just
Okay.
the outer parts.
All right. So we don't get a doctor's
Your post-op
note?
instructions are given to you for a reason, and please follow them.
Yes.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
definitely.
So do we need to start a GoFundMe for you now for your mommy makeover?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
I want to go. Like, can we give it a 2-for-1 maybe?
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
we can be in the same room. Maybe
We
we can
can
just share the anesthesiologist.
Can we get a 2-for-1 out of this?
Chelsea, you
Tuck
think
and
you
roll.
can double sew? Are you ambidextrous?
I can try.
Speaking of anesthesia, this was probably my biggest question because I am terrified of going under. And do you guys have surgeries where they can do things like breast augmentation with a local versus general?
There are a lot of things that we can do under local, but muscle work is not one of
that
them.
makes sense.
You definitely have to go under anesthesia for breast
Okay.
augmentation, submuscular, tummy tucks with the muscles. Certain liposuctions, you definitely have to go under for.
Oh.
But facelifts have been really, really popular doing it under local,
Okay.
which is nice. The patient recovers for a half hour, they leave, they feel great.
I can give me a little eyebrow lift, right?
yeah.
The
You can
under,
do
like,
eyebrow. You
local.
should do eyebrow lift as a
Okay.
local.
What about eyelids? Can I do eyelids that way? Oh,
Eyelid surgery.
those are a couple things I
Upper
want
upper
done.
eye and upper blepharoplasty is amazing. Under local, it takes
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
20
even
minutes.
better.
Baby
Yeah.
lowers,
You do that in your
30,
lunch hour.
It's fast.
I've seen ads that say "come on in" and you go right back to work. So I mean, it makes it real less. I mean, is it more non-invasive or is it the
I
same?
wouldn't say go.
No,
you
no.
go
Is that
right
is
back
that
to
like
work.
that cold sculpting thing? I saw that you guys do that in your office as well. That's something that is that less invasive, or they also do it in my OB's office.
It's definitely less invasive. So what I have to say about cold sculpting is that I have never done it. I can do it for free, and there's a reason why I haven't done it.
Gotcha.
I'm not a huge believer. Everyone down the street has it.
As I said, my OB has it.
So pretty much, I would say 90% of the patients that walk in for a consult of cool sculpting book for a tummy tuck.
Gotcha.
Or
So they're in
liposuction.
denial. They're in denial that they
You've
need.
You've got to
more.
do
Yeah.
3 at least usually to see any difference,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes more. And if you're at $700 a pop, you
Just
have to
gonna
wait
take
6 weeks in between.
Really?
Oh my gosh, just
One
and
shot.
get it done and it's over.
And like we would be a candidate for cool sculpting at
I would never do
140, 150 pounds. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Somebody with any excess skin or who's obese in any way is not a candidate.
Right. That
It's
makes
like
sense.
a little, but it's really popular with guys, with males.
Is it give her like their little
Very
little
popular.
like their
Yep.
love handle
They're
part?
vain and they don't
Yep.
want to be like, oh, I had surgery.
Oh, they can't say they had
like
liposuction.
things
God
like that.
no.
They don't tell anyone. They don't have to have a ride. They don't have to tell anyone.
Wow.
It is probably the most popular with guys.
Oh, that's good.
I never would have thought that. What is the most common procedure that you guys do in the office?
I think we do everything all the time, but it seems to be there seems to be a flow of sometimes it's a lot of tummy tucks, sometimes it's a lot of breast augmentopexies, sometimes there's a lot of facelifts. She's got some of the ones where she's like, oh, I can't do 3 in one day.
Facelifts.
You know,
yeah.
It kills you, but
I think we do facelift every day.
I think it kind of just goes.
So like
in
maybe
and
a
out.
trend or something? Maybe based on like what Kim Kardashian's doing?
I don't really know what the answer to that is. It just seems to be where I'll be like, oh my gosh.
I think when
Another tummy tuck, post-op, another, because those are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
No,
It's,
but
it was pretty, I mean, it's major
painful
surgery. Very.
we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think when patients go under anesthesia, they do everything they can. So sometimes it'll be like a breast aug with lipo, or a tummy tuck with lipo,
Right.
Or it'll be a facelift with upper eyes, or facelift with CO2 laser. So there's like little tag-on things you can do, like CO2 laser, or a little area of lipo that patients are tagging onto a bigger surgery.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
nobody
what
wants to
did.
pay that fee
For
twice
sure.
to come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And how many times they come in for pre-op and go, hey, say doc,
What do you think about
what's
this?
this? And what if I add this? And now, you know, it changes the whole pre-op. It changes. Maybe sometimes it was local, now it's anesthesia.
Wow.
Well, that's
That's a lot,
awesome.
too.
Huh?
Well, speaking of Kim Kardashian, have you had anyone come in and request the Kim Kardashian butt?
I have not heard of that. But we do a lot of Brazilian butt lifts. But actually, I wouldn't say a lot of them. You have to have a lot of fat to get a big, huge difference, especially like Kim Kardashian. If you don't have any fat, you can't put nothing into your
Right.
butt.
I got
Gotcha.
like
And
that.
so Kim Kardashian.
Okay, so extra fat like on the legs or the stomach because they put that on the
Usually
butt?
stomach, thighs, hip rolls.
Damn, I'm a candidate for
I mean-
that.
Girl, you coming back with Kim Kardashian,
I am.
Rudy?
I'm gonna do it just because I'm like, I'm a good candidate. They said. He said I would do really good because I got a lot of fat.
Pretty much anywhere where you have excess fat, you can put it in. But usually when you do, it's a fat transfer basically. So about 60% of that goes away in the healing process. So
Does it hurt to sit when they've had the
yeah,
Brazilian
it's not
butt?
fun.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Gonna get like a tube to sit on like you had hemorrhoid surgery.
Or lay on their
Yes.
side.
Or lay on
Do
their
that.
side,
Yeah.
You can do that.
Just trying to
Donut,
prepare
you want
myself
the donut?
mentally for this.
You know, there's
I know somebody who got really creative, and she did a great job with hers. But
Yeah, very cool.
yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, you have your surgeons in LA and Miami who specialize in stuff like that. So I have friends that come to me and want that surgery done, and I say, look into your docs, and I tell them who to look into down in Miami.
That
Gotcha.
makes
Because
sense.
that's where they're
It's a
going.
totally different.
It's a different
Right.
market.
Yes.
And those doctors ask their patients to gain 20 to 30 pounds before they even come on the table.
This is very true.
Oh, I could
It's a big deal.
totally do this.
Like, where do I get this signed up
I mean,
for?
they're asked to gain weight because they need the fat to transfer into their
But
body.
not everybody gains weight
There's
just
some-
outside.
right.
A lot of it is visceral, and you can't get that fat that's around the organs.
Right.
You have to make sure that you've got enough of the juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff. I think I got plenty of that, possibly. I don't know.
But there's also a limit to how much liposuction you can do.
That's
how much
right.
fat you can take out at one time.
Right, I remember that. I remember when I said give it all to me, they said that no, there's still because you only do one major and then do the little bit of the lipo. So that you're right. Because is it just like is it like a law or is it just common practice or frowned upon?
It's regulations
Okay.
to have an outpatient surgery center.
Okay.
Definitely, there's certifications that we have that other offices have when you're not in a hospital setting that you have to obey by
Okay.
the certification and regulations
That
for
makes sense.
safety
Yeah.
to do surgery.
And although we can handle any emergency that would happen, we can handle in our office and then have them transported. But yeah, definitely regulations are different.
This wasn't on this list. I just thought about it, but I mean, obviously, everything we talk about is things for vanity reasons. Do you guys do reconstructive, like for breast cancer or anything like a cleft palate, like cleft lip, or anything like that? Is there anything outside of like just for vanity?
We do. One of our doctors does more of the breast reconstruction for cancer. Usually done in the hospital because it's tag teaming with their
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
general doctor. It's not very often because insurance is a big deal.
Yeah.
We only take a couple insurances.
Right.
So that makes a big deal. Cleft palates, one of our doctors did it for years. He volunteered his time for like 15, 20 years. Doesn't do it anymore. But that's an insurance thing too. So.
And somebody told me, and it honestly may have been you with the kids, like if your kids fall, like something coming on their face, like do not let the ER doctor stitch up their face. Like, not because they don't know, it's just they're not, this isn't what they're trained to do. So just let it,
you
make
might
sure
get
it's
the ones that put in the big stitches.
Right, so I think you told me, like, just get it so it's not bleeding and then come and see us, or have them call a plastic surgeon into the ER to stitch it up.
So I totally, like 100%, I sometimes ask what their health insurance is. Because they could be, like, they might be able to walk into the ER and pay a $200 copay.
Right.
And get stitched up. Or they can come into an office like I'm at, and it might cost $800.
I was going to say $1,000. It could be in there, like, I don't care. Yep. I don't want to wait in the ER for 7 hours or 5 hours. I just want to have it
or
done.
your face. I mean, that is insane.
It's so worth it, but some people don't have the money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I
some
can
people,
see that.
Like, know that they can walk into the ER and pay $200. But when you come in to the office and pay $800 to get stitched up, when you come back for your follow-ups and get your sutures removed, you don't pay again.
Right.
It's
yeah,
just,
I mean, you have to go to another doctor after that.
Great care, and it's going to look 10 times better.
Right,
than
exactly.
Usually if you go to the ER.
Anything on the face.
I did call you when Reagan busted her face open. I was like, oh my gosh, what are we supposed to do with this? And you're like, I was like, do we put actually vitamin E? You're like, absolutely not. It's open. I'm like, okay, like just keep it moist.
Yes.
I just think that people don't know their options. I think people panic.
Yeah.
They go to the ER, which
Maybe
I would too on a weekend. Do you know what I mean? I would too, but I think that if you have a connection or if you know or have it been established at any office, like Kim, like whoever you went to for your surgery, you could call them and you could say your first and last name. They know who you are. They could look you up in the system within seconds.
It's easier.
And they would probably help you or whoever.
Somebody who's new. And
well, that's it. Until Jason, we got to be established patients over here. And if anything happens, hey, it's Tricia Cooper. You know me really well. I had a lot of work done.
The one that came in with the 2-for-1? That's us.
You're going to remember us after that. What are you going to go? Let's go with this one. What's the biggest boob size someone's asked for?
It doesn't happen often, but we do some of the taller patients, broad shoulders. They can handle the highest one. I think the highest one's 800.
I've definitely put in 800s.
But those are patients that can handle it. We are never going to put an 800cc implant into anybody that's framed
that's not going to handle that. Right. And what does that equate to, like, about and bra size? And I know everyone is different.
You can't even.
But, like,
you can't, because a 34C on you is going to be totally different than a 34C.
Right.
Or a C cup on you is different than a C cup on you. Right. A C cup on me. So you can't cup size. It's
can the person shop Victoria's Secret still for a bra at 800 cc's? Because they don't go that high.
No, they don't. Because I'm a big breasted woman, and I do not. And if I do, I have to look in the drawer, and they might have a white one or a black one or nude. I don't get the fun colors.
Have you ever been fitted for real and realized that you're like, I'm a double D? I've been thinking I'm a C this entire time.
We're all probably wearing the wrong size.
Well, as you know, I am an
official,
I'm
many trades over here.
That's right. I'm a certified fitter of mastectomy. So I have a CFM. I have my license. Actually,
really? Cool.
I've had it for 10 years at the American Board of Orthotics and Prosthetics. So I would fit women who have had a mastectomy and maybe had, reconstruction, with the breast prosthesis. So you're right. Every bra size, because there's different cups. There's a soft cup. There's a semi cup. There's a full figured breast versus a shallow figured breast.
A 38 is different than a C cup and a 32.
Right.
There's no way we can do cup sizes for that.
So a couple things. So when we say 800 cc's, silicone 800. You can take a saline implant and fill it as big as you want.
Yeah.
I mean, there's again a number where you shouldn't max out at, but you see these women with these massive
Right.
breast.
And if you think about it, it's almost the size of a liter
What's in there?
of Coke.
Oh, okay.
Think
All right,
about
that
how-
makes sense. That's a lot.
That's a lot. What's the difference between saline and silicone?
Well, saline is filled with like a saline, which is like kind of water.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if it ruptured, your body would just.
That's what I have.
Okay, saline. Okay.
But they didn't have. So when I got mine at 19, so the original silicone
Like
was coming.
1950?
Yeah, 1950. So shut up.
Just
The original silicone was like essentially coming off the market, and saline was almost being the only thing offered.
You were coming into that
Era of
that
no,
time.
that's what was happening when I had it done, right? So, but now silicone is different. So
Very
if you can tell us about that, because some people might be really scared about it, but I think it's a much better product, obviously, than it used to be.
They're
So
called.
did you have saline or silicone in?
I have saline.
So if I got implants, I would have put silicone in my body.
If I were to redo it, I would do silicone
Mm-hmm.
at this point. At that point, when I did it, we were still doing the studies. Oh, you know how much I like
And it was
the studies.
it was what we were pulling out of patients with the old silicone.
It's scary.
That's what I
was,
mean. Yeah.
It was, I mean, it was like slime.
Yes.
Like the slime, like when you would play with kids.
Right. Oh,
like
gosh.
I mean, and you would just pull it, and it would just fall apart.
Oh,
The new silicone is made to like stick together.
it's more like a mass. Like
It
it
is.
itself.
It's not
the
going to
adhesive gel or the gummy bear.
Yeah.
It's all the same. It's just each company kind of brands their implants a different way.
Oh, different names.
So
Okay.
they're all the same. And it's basically, if it were to rupture, nothing comes spilling out. It kind of just stays.
Gotcha.
Like if
So
you
it is
cut
more
a
like
gummy
a
bear. in
gummy bear.
half,
Yes. Mhm.
nothing's spilling out.
Okay. Which is obviously
That's why
much
they call
safer.
it.
Yes. So, and I mean, and it does that help, because I get a lot, not now because I'm much fuller, but when I was thinner, my heyday.
Well, you're fuller because you're pregnant. It's okay.
Well, and because I'm in love, I gained 25
That's
pounds when I
true.
met Jason. But anyway, I used to have like pitting on the side.
Yeah.
And is that more so with the saline? Like if I had them redone with the silicone and maybe got skinny again, would I have pitting still?
I would say that it probably less in silicone,
Mm-hmm.
but people who are really thin skin and have very little breast tissue, you're almost always going to feel the implant somewhere. What you don't want is to be able to see it.
Right.
If you're always going to feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to look in the mirror and see it.
Yeah, at my finish, like if I went like bent over, you could see it on the sides. But I mean, let's be honest, I'm never getting that skinny again.
Don't say that. You
I'd
never
like you
know.
better this way anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty thin at the time, so I think it was probably unhealthy. So we'll blame it on the boobs. I
That's
can't
right.
get that skinny. It can't happen.
You don't want your sides to show.
You heard it here. They said I can't be too thin again.
That's right. That's right. What is the most intense plastic surgery procedure that you guys have done?
For sure, the tummy tuck.
Because of the
Really?
the time period.
Yes.
I mean, I think I was down for 6 weeks.
I mean, that's pretty long.
It is.
down, but like specify down.
Like I was probably
You were bedridden for 6
I was
weeks.
well, yeah. I mean, I was probably moving by like week 3, but I was hunched over.
You're gonna
I
scare people.
couldn't-
You're gonna scare people.
No.
That is.
We see our patients post-op day 1 or 2. At that point, we're telling you to try to stand up. There's nothing you can do to hurt yourself.
Because the blood flow.
You're going to hurt your back. I mean, a lot of reasons. Usually people are starting to get back into their normal routine about a week. You're going to be a lot more tired quicker than you would normally. So a normal work day, you'd at some point be like, oh, I just need your body's on overload trying to heal itself. The muscle work is what hurts. And so your pain, I would say, usually people complain for 3 weeks. I wouldn't say that it's 3 weeks intense pain, but I would say for sure about 6 months as an awareness going, maybe do a certain movement, you're like, oh yeah.
Still there.
I had that. Not hurt, but
Right.
just an awareness.
Yeah, I remember having to wear the girdles because I had to keep, I guess, it all intact for
It's important.
Yeah, definitely. So the difference between a full tummy tuck and a partial, what's the difference?
I'll let you get into that.
So a full tummy tuck. So the cut is almost the same. A full tummy tuck, you're doing belly button work. You have a cutter on the belly button. You dissect all the way up to the rib cage, and you plicate the muscle all the way up. Mini tummy tuck, sometimes there's no muscle plication, and you dissect pretty much to the belly button, and that's it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Most
there's no
people
upper
are-
skin. It's
yeah,
more
there's
just
no-
a little pooch in the
Yeah.
bottom that you just need a little
Most women who've had children are not a candidate for mini tummy tucks. I would say 5% who've had children. And a lot of it's women who've had a C-section and they have that weird flap over their C-section scar.
Right.
And they're very thin and they just don't need a lot of muscle plication.
It's rare.
It's very rare. But more power to them if that's what they can do.
Yeah.
To make them happy.
It's a lot less painful because there's no muscle work.
Or like skin removal, is that something like that would be done that way? Like with people who have had like huge amounts of weight loss that need skin removal surgery?
Yes, we don't see that very often, but I do remember a really big patient a long time ago where you do skin removal first. It's kind of just called the paniculectomy. You're just removing the pannus of skin just to get them to that point so that they're comfortable to exercise again and just live a normal life, be in clothing. And then sometimes after that, going a little bit further.
If it's skin only, it's usually a weight loss patient, 100 pounds plus of weight loss,
right?
No children. But usually, if we have access to their muscles, we're going to placate it with the suture.
Okay.
If they need
it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's there. We have open access. But one thing I have to add about the recovery of a tummy tuck, it's not the incision. It's not the skin being removed. It's
the healing.
It's the plication of your muscle.
Yeah.
Like we take a permanent big suture.
Yeah. And you
bring those muscles back together, and that's where your pain comes from.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's not about the skin coming off or your incision from hip bone to hip bone.
Right.
It's your muscle plication, like with a permanent suture that you're bringing back together from usually childbirth.
Right. Yeah. No, I can imagine that.
Yeah. It is completely split, and you bring that back together with a suture that doesn't dissolve.
Yeah.
Like it's there.
So is it still there?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
It does not dissolve.
And that's why it's
if it dissolved, the repair would come apart.
But I guess, I mean, like, when I had my heart surgery, so obviously they put my sternum back together with wire, but then they used internal stitches all the way through, and then they sealed the outside with a glue.
Yeah, your internal, usually in those kind of cases, those are going to be dissolved.
Okay, so you think those dissolved?
Yep.
Yes.
The metal's still there, I imagine.
Oh, so
I set it off, I set it off at the airport.
Yeah. Do you?
Sometimes, yeah.
I didn't know I got a permanent suture or something inside my body.
do.
I was wondering why it's so hard right
Like
here.
a turkey.
Like, this is my 8-pack, but that's really not, but I can form because it's so hard. It's because of the muscle, you know?
It could be. Did you have lipo done at all with your surgery?
Just in the thighs. But it came right back.
Well, that's it
$1,600
can, but it
tag
can,
that
but it really can't. So that's a difference. Like usually, so that's a great question. Some people say when you get lipo, does it come back in a different area?
Right. Yeah, they think, it moves somewhere else.
So when you lose weight, your fat cells shrink. When you get lipo, they're removed. Your fat cells
Entirely.
Okay. So
not all of them.
The ones they suck out.
So so if you gain weight, you're gonna gain weight. If you're prone to, so if you get lipo of your legs and you're prone to gain weight in your legs, you're gonna gain weight in your legs, but I wouldn't say you would get back your lateral thigh.
Yeah,
or your inner thigh. You're
right.
like, holy cow, I have this lateral thigh.
You're not
That's
going to
bad.
see the weight gain in there anymore. You're going to see it somewhere else.
Gotcha.
First. And you only have a certain amount of fat cells. So those fat cells that you have left, they just get bigger.
Okay.
So yeah, you can gain all that back.
Once they get bigger, are they trained then to like, you think like be that size? Is it like a memory thing? Like now I'm big and I just want to stay big? Like
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Well, I hope that my fat cells get so they forget things. I want them to go back.
Yeah, lose their memory.
It's like a
amnesia,
vitamin.
like infant size.
It's like a vitamin. Amnesia or vitamin D. Take that away.
This is just a bad period altogether. I'm just gonna forget.
That's exactly it. Yes. I do have one last question for you guys, and we'll let you go.
I have a couple more too, but you can ask that one.
What is the youngest age you've had someone in the office? And with that being said, is there a law that says there's a certain age that has to come into the office?
I don't know if there's a law.
You have
I don't know, because you have to have parental consent for sure.
Yeah.
Under the age of 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
Breast surgeries usually we won't do under 18 unless it was a significant deformity. I would say something that's like really affecting their lives. They've got one that's large and one that's really small.
Right. I mean, they're still growing.
Still growing. I would say otoplasty would be the number one that we would do anything under 18.
They don't know what that is.
Oh, that's pinning back of the ears.
Oh, the ears. Okay, that makes sense.
So we've seen, I mean, I've had a 5-year-old on the table.
Yeah.
Kind of kids coming into kindergarten, which have, kind of like
no one wants to be made fun
ears.
of.
Yeah, and it's
some kids
super
go into
easy.
it, but
they don't go under anesthesia. We have a little liquid Valium that they take a sip of. They feel good.
I'll get that.
I know, right?
You gonna get that when we go to labor?
And it's a great procedure that I feel like a lot of parents would never. I think it's hard for parents to make that decision.
Right.
A 5-6-year-old.
Well, it's just if you do that to your
plastic
child. I
surgery
think
on a
that's
child.
probably the hard. Like, am I making the right choice? Are they gonna? Is this gonna be traumatizing for them? Is
Yes.
it is the trauma of going through school with the ears this way?
Yeah, but I
worse than the
think
trauma
at that
of
point your child is coming to you and saying,
we got an
I'm
issue.
getting
Yeah, they're
made
making fun of
like
me.
my ears. And
Yeah.
nobody's going to say, oh, your ears, let's go get them pinned back.
Yeah,
usually there's an issue going on.
I mean, obviously, from this conversation that we've had, you guys work for a very ethical office. I mean,
Yes.
there's nothing like, anything from breast size not being extraordinarily large to like seeing weird requests. It's because your reputation on the street is what it is, and I think that is really important to know that we're bringing in people to talk about this that aren't running cattle through your office to just worry about making money and making sure that they're making the right choices. Yes. I did want to ask you guys, because you do procedures that are not you do
I do today.
You do perform.
Yes, that are non-surgical, that are also very important. I know that the hair. So like you guys do a hair like restoration. Is that what it's called?
Yes. It's
and
called
so, can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's called follicular something extraction. I can't remember what the U is. FUE.
FUE.
Yes. But they're taking little. It's almost like punch biopsy.
Okay.
They find the hair follicles that have like 2 or 3 growing out of them. Take it from the back of the head, and then they implant it into the front of the head. It's not like a plug. It's not like the old strip where
they took like the whole thing out of the back, and you had the scar, and then you
and
saw like the
nothing like
pattern
that.
of it.
Nothing like that. And the hair that's implanted is permanent because the back of the head is genetically. It just doesn't fall out. The testosterone doesn't affect the back of the head, so they extract from the back, put in the front. So like Mike had it done, and he didn't take the medicines he should be, like the finasteride and everything. So his hair is thinning, but it was the hair that he had before he did the transplant.
Oh, so that is starting to go.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so he'll never go bald there. It's just going to thin, and then whatever he had will remain.
I mean,
forever.
it's amazing.
It
The before and after is amazing of that
I want
procedure.
him to do it again, and he's like, no, I didn't know that. Yeah, I want him to do it again.
I think it's amazing. I think that back to that whole thing, like you can do a lot of things to work out and things like I couldn't grow boobs. You can't, once your hair goes, you can't grow it back. Like you do need help with these things. And I think it's important for people to understand that like going to get this help for that is not, it's not vain. It's just like, listen, I can't, physically can't do this.
But if you feel better about yourself,
absolutely,
that translates through your whole life and with relationships and everything.
Confidence,
so,
it's just, I think it's fantastic. You guys also do, I saw, so you do things that like laser hair removal, you do skin resurfacing, microdermabrasion, spider vein removal. So you have a full stop shop there.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I'm coming in on Monday.
Eyelash extension.
9 o'clock.
Oh, you do eyelash extensions?
We
the permanent makeup. I saw that. You did that.
Makeup and for breast reconstruction, the areola tattooing and things like that. But yeah, maintenance to start at around our age is so important.
One thing we haven't discussed is Botox.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like
It's liquid gold.
It is. And at a younger age, like, so I'm 36, but even so I started doing it when I was 23.
Yeah, I was
and then
it
wasn't until my friends started asking about it in their late 20s, should I be doing this? And I was like, well, it's up to you. Like, if you can afford it, go for it.
Right.
Or you're going to create all these wrinkles, and you're going to be paying for filler.
Right.
Plus Botox in your 40s and 50s.
Yeah, and if you start early, you only have to do it like every 8 months or something.
Right.
You don't have to do it once you've made those scars in your face. Then you kind of have to do it right when you start to see the movement. But if you start it early, you can go a lot longer in between your doses.
It's
sure.
definitely worth the money. Yeah, Botox is.
But I don't have to pay for it, so.
Lucky you. I've
had
had
it
on your
once.
discount.
Did you have it?
I've never had it.
I had it once right
Thought
before
about
our wedding.
It was
and
good. It looked really good.
It looked really good. She did a really good job. My girlfriend does it, and she's not a heavy. Like, she's not heavy on it. She's like, but the only issue for me is I use my forehead a lot for expression. It made me sick. It made me really, really, really
that
sick.
happens to me the first 2 weeks, and then after that, I'm okay with it. But I do feel it's just a strange sensation. You're wanting to use your eyebrows.
Yeah, it made me really
but it's
nauseous.
not.
Like, it was, and that's the only reason I haven't gone back. I figured I'm just going to save all my money, and then I'm going to go in and they can do my facelift, and I don't have to put me under.
There you go. Get the
And
Mommy
that's not
Makeover.
going to help.
That's-
forehead wrinkles, though, honey.
That's
It's
okay.
not, but
I'll put some more weight on.
But
I'm gonna
that's
write
the
this
other
plan
stuff,
out.
though. Like, patients spend all this money on filler. Like, I have
Right.
one of my best friend comes in and she'll spend $1,500 in filler all over her face. And I finally talked her into stop. She stopped. I was like, save your money and get a facelift.
Right.
So patients come in
But
and
facelift doesn't fix everything.
It
It's
doesn't.
taking extra skin.
Right.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't.
fill in
That's
your cheeks
true.
that you've lost. It doesn't
But
help nasolabial folds. It doesn't.
patients have
do
these
that.
jowls and they're like constantly putting filler everywhere and it's
Yeah.
Because you can do a non-surgical where they kind of put filler in the front of the jowl and then in back of the jowl.
Okay.
it's expensive.
Okay.
It is
It's
expensive, and not everybody's.
And it's
okay with
it's
it.
not
Filler is
permanent.
It's not
Right.
permanent. No,
Okay.
it's not. It's expensive and it doesn't last.
Right.
But again, you're looking like you're talking to two people who,
Have access to
Yes.
it.
yeah, said I'm more of a surgery. I'm pro surgery. Like you're spending all this money on this.
Oh, I am
Get
that
it
way too. I'm gonna
done
save my money.
quick,
And,
yeah.
Quick recovery, done and over,
It's-
and that's it.
I'm
yeah,
extreme.
Like I'm like we do fat transfers in the back to like facial fat transfers. I'm all about that.
Right.
I'll take your fat and put it in your face, or you can spend $650 on a syringe of Juvederm that's gonna last.
Yeah.
How
And
long does
most
it last?
people
I don't even
need
know. Is that what I feel like? I don't even know.
About
Six-
4 to 6 months.
Yeah,
But
$650 for
people
one
need more
syringe.
than one syringe.
Okay.
Yeah, so they buy a pack of 2 syringes for $1,200.
Yeah, sometimes more.
And then they're gonna come back in a year and do it again. Like just blow it out of
Yeah,
your
no,
body.
I'm very extreme. I just go for the surgery. I think.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I think
Okay,
so.
I think I'm
One
gonna call
recovery.
Amazon and increase my credit limit and
Exactly.
see if I get some points back on this. It's
I-
a win-win.
I would say I looked at your website too, and I think the biggest transformation that I saw from before and afters would have to be the chin implant. I think it really changes somebody's like entire structure of their face, and I think that that would bring a lot of confidence onto somebody. I mean, it really just, that profile is like, yeah, the profile is amazing. It's have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, you got to go on the website and check it out.
I mean, I'm sure it probably changes your dynamic of your face.
Yeah,
My sister got one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, actually, Mary. Never mind. A
Yeah,
friend of
so-
mine
a
also
friend.
did the same thing, and it does totally change profile. We don't get a lot of people that ask for it though, and
You don't want to
we're not
offer
gonna
it.
say, "Hey,
Hey, you think you need this?
I mean, I think it's just not like I don't think that
people
people
even think
know
it
they can
has
do
Have that
that.
done?
do it.
Yeah.
They just don't. They never. I don't know. I just don't think that they know that they can do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of, even with like the lip shortening, is where you take a little wedge of skin under the nose, and it brings your upper lip. It brings your
Does
upper
it?
lip up. Again, another procedure that's amazing. That is we
Not
don't see
like
a lot.
people don't. You
They
don't want
just
to. You definitely don't want to recommend
They
it.
don't know
I mean,
what's out there.
Hey,
They don't
let
know
me
you can take a
tell
little
you.
wedge under your nose of skin and it lifts.
If someone's
I
getting-
recommend it if somebody comes in
coming
and
in
says, "Hey, I
fillers
want
and stuff,"
filler and
right.
a bunch of stuff," and you say, "Well, you're actually somebody that's a candidate for a little bit of an incision right at the nose line." And
So you know what's crazy? When I had my boobs done, so he's sitting there and he's like looking, and he's like, "Have you ever want to do anything about your face?" I'm 19.
Oh my God.
Yes, and I was like,
should never, ever,
and I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, let me see your driver's license picture. Is it the same? He's like, your face isn't symmetrical. And I was,
Nobody's is.
and I was like, okay, well, no. Come to find out, had we looked into this further, so I was 19 when I had my boobs done. And I was 21 when I had my open heart surgery. Somewhere along the way, it's like maybe some sort of like mini stroke or something caused by that. That's why he wanted to see my driver's license to see if I've always been this way or if something was happening. He should have
That's
noticed that.
totally a different.
But yeah, and so you can like, and it did, and like, so when I have to pose for photos, in order to keep it like, so I don't look like droopy, I have to tilt my head to one side. But yeah, it's kind of, that's what he
It's a
asked me.
different scenario than saying, "Hey, I know you're here for your breast, but
But your face, girl.
What about this? Your hip rolls, is, you can't.
But we didn't know that's what it was.
Right.
You think that would have asked more questions like, okay, your driver's license, there's nothing wrong. Your face is the same. Like, you probably need to go see somebody to find out why your face is drooping on one side now.
Wow.
But no one's symmetrical. So I feel like
Right.
I feel like most women come into the office, especially younger girls, and they want to look like a Victoria's Secret model.
Right.
Or they see these images online or on TV or movies. If they could see what I saw every day at work, they would probably appreciate their body 10 times more.
Oh, I bet.
And it made me appreciate my body.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was going to put implants in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to do this and this.
You have the cutest little boobs ever.
And then I do. They're perfect. They're small. I know they're small and they're perfect. And they're small. Who cares?
No.
Like, who cares? Like, and I realized that after working there, like, they're perfect. They're
And
the
it's an
same
implant.
size.
You
They're
can
like
do so
my
much use.
IMC crease is perfect. But
Yeah.
and the girls that come in, like, I mean, you see so many deformities.
Mm-hmm.
And if every teenage girl could see what I saw every day, they would realize that they're normal.
Right.
And not look at themselves in the mirror naked as an abnormal.
Right.
Because it's not normal to be perfect.
No, absolutely not.
And the ones that are perfect are supermodels.
And
Well, and they're
so physical
photoshopped.
that if
You know,
you
it's-
had implants, you would probably have taken them out
I know.
because it would have driven you insane.
I mean, when I had mine done, I was like very tiny,
Yeah.
and my biggest issue is I'm bottom heavy, and so try finding a dress that was gonna work. You know, like in order to get fit on my hips and my butt past that, like I'm like it's drowning in the top.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
need
and
your
so
top to match
I
the
think that I think I did a good job matching them. It's not like it's like over the top. Like here comes Tricia and her breasts walking through the door. I mean, I'm pregnant now, so they are. Woo! My husband likes them.
Like coming out of your buttoned-up shirt. It's like, oh, put those girls away.
Exactly. That's how it is now.
They're big, but they're nice and they're soft and
Yes. Most people wouldn't think that they were fake. And I don't put them on display. I think that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
unless it's Halloween, because everyone's a whore on Halloween.
Yep.
that's right.
It used to be a horror. It's on Halloween. On Halloween.
Oh, is that what's supposed to happen?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Except when you're pregnant.
That's
so
why I
you
don't like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not poor on Halloween.
Mike might like it.
That may change a lot, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that pretty much does it there. So thanks guys so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
If anyone has any questions, you can go to our Facebook page and put a comment on this episode, or go to our website and ask the question, and we can always get with the girls and get some answers for you. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks guys so much.